Hey boys and girls, today we're going to continue multiplying decimals. Today is going to be episode 3. We're going to have those decimals in a different spot. And today, Riley is going to teach you guys how to multiply decimals. Say hi. She's very confused. I'm just kidding. April Fools. I'm going to be teaching you guys today's math lesson on multiplying decimals, and we will get started. Okay, so for today's lesson, on Wednesday, April 1st, we're going to continue multiplying decimals. This is episode 3. So now we're looking at decimals in a new spot. As you can see, I set up the problems for you. I actually completed them for you as well because we already know how to do that. The only new thing that we are learning today is where these decimals are going to go. So for the first one, if I have 3.7 times 48, as you can see, there's only a decimal in one of the two numbers. So when there's only a decimal in one of the two numbers and it's on the top, you need to remember that when it's on the top, it always goes straight down. So this decimal up here is falling. It's looking for somebody to bump heads with. There's nobody there, there's nobody there, there's nobody there. And it just keeps falling all the way down. It never bumped heads with anybody. It's going to land right here. Okay, so again, it's at the top because there's nobody here on the right side. So since it's on the top, it's falling, waiting to bump heads with its buddy. It's still falling, falling. And you know what? It's just going to land right there. So we got 177.6. Okay, and that's our final answer. The decimal just falls straight down. So look at the bottom example. We only have a decimal on the side. Now it's same problem, 48 times 3.7, but I have them in different spots. So if the decimal is only on the side, then it goes straight down the slide. Lands right there. So remember that. If it's only on the side, it goes straight down the slide. So the decimal's there. It's falling straight down the side, and it's going to land right there. So again, I got 177.6. Okay, so for the first one, it falls straight down because it had nobody to bump heads with. The second one, it's only on the side, so it goes down the slide. I have another example for you. Here they are. I completed them for you, and let's take a look at the decimal in these ones. So 0.37 times 48, same thing, it's on the top. Okay, it's looking for somebody to bump heads with. There's nobody there, there's nobody there, it's still going, and it just falls straight down because it had nobody to bump heads with. Okay, so this decimal is going to fall straight down and land right there. So you get 17.76. Okay, and the one at the bottom, now I'm doing 48 times 0.37. As you can see, there is only a decimal on the side, so it's going to go down the slide. When there's only one decimal on the side, it goes down the slide. Okay? So as you can see, it's right here. It's going to go straight down the slide, and it's just going to land right there. Okay? And you're going to get 17.76. Okay? So the first one, it falls straight down, nobody to bump heads with. Just like on the previous problem. It's on the top, nothing on the side, so it's just going to fall straight down, nobody to bump heads with. And then the second one, the decimal's only on the side because it's 0.37, so it's going to go straight down the slide, just like on the first one. On the second example for the first one here, we have 3.7 down here at the bottom, right? And the decimal's only on the side, so it goes down the slide. Okay, so that's those two. Of course, I'm going to show you guys the U.S. traditional method now. Okay, so here's the U.S. traditional method. I did all the work for you. I set up the problems. You guys already know how to do all that. Let's take a look at how we're going to move the decimal. This pretty much, it's the same thing we've been doing, except for the 48, I'm not really going to move a decimal because there's nothing to move. So for the top, the decimal is just going to move one time, right? It moved once. Okay, so that means since it's here, I'm only going to be moving it once, and it's going to go right there. So my answer for the first one is 177 0.6. Okay, and now let's go to the second one. The second one, it's going to move 1, 2. So move 2 times. And as you can see down here, there's no decimal, so I really don't have to worry about moving it. It's actually sitting right there already, so I don't actually have to move it. So for the second one, since I moved it 2 times, obviously you guys know it starts here, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, and the decimal's gonna land right there. So for the second one, I'm gonna have 17.76. Okay, so now you guys can see it for the US traditional method, and also you saw it for the lattice method. And of course, for the last thing, we cannot forget about the estimates. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. I prefer you do this first, but for my examples here, I need to do it at the end so you guys can see how to do it first. But let's go over the estimates for each one. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the first ones, and we're going to take a look at these estimates. So the first one, I have 3.7 times 48. So 3.7, if you guys remember from my previous video on episode 2, okay, use this to help you if you need to. Okay, you can pause it. So I have 3.7, but you guys already know 3.7 is going to be rounded to 4. 48, is that closer to 40 or 50? It's closer to 50. Okay. And I just multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. And I'm going to add the extra 0 because I did 4 times 5 is 20. You can't forget about that 0. So I get 200. So don't forget to write both numbers and the answer. These are good ones to do as well. So let's do these. For this one, I have 0.37 times 48 for these two. So 0.37 is where it gets tricky. So you're going to focus on that 0.3. And if you want, go back to that chart. And that 0.3 I actually already have circled from the last video. And 0.3 we know is going to round closer to 0 than it is to 1. Okay, like I said last time, I know it's strange, but 0.37 is going to round to 0. Okay. But what's going to happen is when you multiply it times 48, 48 we're going to make 50. Okay, and 0 times 50 gives you 0. So you might be thinking 0 is not exactly close to 17.76. So I'm fine if you break the rules on this one and you're like, Mr. O'Neill, I'm going to round 0.37 to 1 and multiply that times 50, which gives me 50, because I know my answer is going to be between 0 and 50. Okay, so you can choose which one if you want to round that 0.37 to 0 or 1. So that's multiplying decimals episode 3. I did it in several examples of the lattice method and the US traditional method. We also reviewed the rounding portion, making your estimates. If you guys have any questions, please rewatch the video or send me a message on our Google Classroom. Thank you for watching episode 3 of Multiplying Decimals. I want to also thank Riley for helping out. As you can see, she's exhausted from multiplying all these decimals. Thanks for your help, Riley. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon. Miss you.